Don't buy Polygon until you watch this video. We're going to talk about all of the things that are happening on Polygon over the next few months and discuss whether or not it's a good investment for you to get involved in the crypto markets. Do me a favor, hit that like button, and let's get into today's video. Now, Ethereum has struggled for years with low throughput issues, transaction speeds, transaction costs, and many other things, and this meant that people looked for another solution, and this allowed Polygon to come in and build on the Ethereum network to improve the overall performance of the Ethereum network. This has meant that then many new platforms and partnerships have been formed as people try to build onto Polygon rather than directly onto Ethereum. But some things have been happening very recently with Polygon that have really caught my attention and have made me really want to delve in to what's going on in the background and whether or not I should be investing right now. And whilst there are tons of use cases for Polygon, if you're in my Telegram group, which is linked down below and absolutely free, so go and join that right now if you're serious about making money in crypto, then you'll understand that I have a heavy focus towards GameFi and crypto gaming, because the gaming industry itself is enormous and is growing all the time. And if you look into this, which we talk about regularly on this channel, we can see the blockchain games by 2026 is going to be worth around $67.4 billion. And what games need, or blockchain games need, is a very powerful platform to be able to run the games on. And this is where Polygon gets very exciting. Now, one of the biggest platforms for Web3 gaming is Immutable X. And you've probably heard of Immutable X if you've been in the area for a little bit. And something enormous has just happened. A game-changing partnership between Immutable X and Polygon. This is enormous because as we move towards that 2026 magical $67.4 billion market cap for blockchain gaming, you need the solutions behind these games to be able to power that growth. Immutable X, partnered up with Polygon, is pretty much the ultimate when it comes to that use case. Immutable X has tons of different games built on it, but Illuvium, one of the top crypto games right now, is built on Immutable X. So it's definitely worth going and checking out Immutable X and Illuvium. You don't have to be interested in gaming. I'm not interested in actually playing games, but I am interested in the growth of GameFi and basically investing in it because I can see the opportunity. Now, something else that's really worth paying attention to when considering whether or not we want to invest in Polygon. Now, lots of other crypto projects have come about, and while they have a lot of hype and excitement about them, they're not really being used that much right now. Polygon has been around, has been used for quite some time now. And what we can see by looking at this Polygon unique address chart, which shows all the different addresses that are being added each day to Polygon, you can see just the amount of growth. During even the bear market, we saw sustained growth from Polygon. We have not seen this happen in pretty much any other cryptocurrency. And that is enormously powerful. And that tells me something very important, because as we move from bear market transitioning into bull market, depending on the narratives you might be looking at right now, I believe that we're in a very exciting opportunity for cryptos that have sustained their growth throughout a bear market. Now, coming across to Polygon, it's got the largest and most thriving ecosystem, 294,000 total contract creators, 225 million plus unique addresses, and as we've just checked, growing all the time, huge amounts of transactions, 13.6 billion NFT sales. That's crazy. And as we move further on into the bull market in crypto, you're going to see the NFT market once again starting to explode, which is going to be great news for Polygon, with an average cost per transaction of $0.018. Also in the news, you've got ZK Meta rollups coming in, which is zero knowledge, and that's basically a huge move into the Web3 environment. And who's building on Polygon right now? Well, some of the world's biggest brands have partnered up with Polygon, and this is growing all the time. Adidas, Stripe, Nike, eBay. You can see these images, and obviously you're going to pretty much recognize all of it. This shows real excitement in Polygon. So am I buying Polygon right now, I hear you ask? Well, no, I'm not. And there's a very good reason why I'm not buying it right now. And we're going to find out exactly why that is when we look at the charts. And we have seen something very interesting. While the rest of crypto has been in a sustained bear market towards the downside, we have seen Polygon slowly creeping up during this period of time. Because it shows when Ethereum hit the bottom down here, we've seen similar kind of sustained growth. But what we can see playing out on the weekly is probably of a little bit of concern for me. And it is this particular chart pattern that I want to pay attention to. Now this, as you are probably aware, is a rising wedge. You might want to call it a bear flag, whatever it is, right? Doesn't really matter what you want to call it. But one thing I can see that has happened here is this huge old liquidity grab. And you're like, well, what does that mean? Well, it means that when we're trading in a zone like this, suddenly the price will jump up, take out everyone's stop losses, and then it'll push back down. Now, why that's significant is once we get a push like this and we get faked out, and we do tend to drop towards the other side and pushed a little bit lower. So what that gives me is the idea that we are potentially going to push a little bit lower in the shorter term for Polygon. So where would I see us having a potential buying opportunity? Well, I'm going to make this box nice and green because I think this could be an area that we could revisit on the weekly. So we look into this chart, we can see that we had aggressive pushes coming out of this area. Now, I'm not saying that necessarily we're going to dip all the way back down into this zone, but what we can see as well on the weekly is another area above it in these wicks from the candles pushed down. If we get into a daily chart, we can see something significant here as well. Now, let me move that green box a little bit higher, and we can see that we had, from this area, a very aggressive push. Now, I talked about on this video yesterday, which is essential if you're buying altcoins right now, particularly if you're buying HBAR, Algorand, and Gala, and I'll connect it to the end of this video, so make sure you go and check it out afterwards. But what we can see is from this zone, we had a very big push out, which tends to mean that we will revisit it a few times. Now, we have revisited once, and I do think that we are going to revisit again, perhaps in quite a short space of time. That would get us down another 14%. And you're like, well, what's so significant about being able to buy down at 14%? Well, what I'm going to do is I'll set an alert in this area, and then I believe the Polygon is going to do $20 plus. And the reason I look at $20 plus, maybe around $22, is because that would take Polygon to the market cap of Ethereum during the last bull market. So if we look back to all-time highs from current price, you can see 152%, which is 1.5x. From the box down below, you would get a 2x. So, not necessarily that significant. But once we look a little bit further into the future, if we're able to get up towards $20 to $24 range, then you're looking at a 16x to $20. But if I take it from that blue box just underneath the current price, then you're looking at a 20x, which means you get an additional 400% gains from just waiting that little bit longer. Now, I talked about yesterday the importance of dollar cost averaging, and I'm aware that this is not really dollar cost averaging. So if you don't want to miss out, well, this is how I would play it. Now, obviously, this is not financial advice. Now, instead of just saying right now that the market's moving up and saying today I've got $100 available that I want to buy Polygon with, well, what I recommend doing, and this is probably quite sensible to do with most cryptos right now. Now, each month, let's say you have a spare $100 sitting around from your paycheck that you want to invest in crypto right now. You might have more, you might have less. Doesn't really matter. But this concept is true for all. Now, if, for example, I was to go in right now with $100 and the price did this, well, now I've got no opportunity to bring down my DCA or my dollar cost average. So what I could do is maybe use $25 to buy in now. And then maybe next week, it gets to here and I buy in another $25. And then yes, I wouldn't have made as much if I'd put in $50 down here. But say the price does this, then I can put in another $25. And then the price does this, another $25, and you get the picture, guys. This means that over a period of time, I don't need to really pay attention to whether the price is going up or down on a short-term basis. And unless you are trading constantly, you don't really need to. It can be very stressful and it's probably not something you want to do. But if you do want to do that, again, get in my Telegram. We talk about this every day and I will be able to give you some more advice on where I'm buying, what I'm buying, and that kind of thing as well. And if you're saying, well, what's the point in DCAing? I'll give you an example looking at Bitcoin. This I heard yesterday and is very interesting indeed. If you bought your first $10 worth of Bitcoin at the all-time high, and then you bought Bitcoin every week between that point on the 1st of November 2021 till today, $10 every single week, you would now be up 10% on your Bitcoin investment. And that's very interesting, right? Because if you'd bought all of your money at the top right then, and you would now be down 60%. So you can see the difference in the power of dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin, and the same exists for every other crypto. So if you're not really experienced in trading and you're not really sure what to do and you can't handle the emotions of FOMOing in and being scared of all that stuff that goes on in crypto markets, well, your best bet is to DCA into different cryptos. Identify the cryptos you want to buy and then just DCA into them. Again, not financial advice, just a great way to make money, assuming that the general move of crypto over the next, let's say 10 years, 20 years is towards the upside, just scale into cryptos, scale out of cryptos when they move up a bit, take your profits, and that's the way to really make money in crypto. And if you're wondering where to buy Polygon, well, look no further than coming across to Fairdesk, which is linked down below in the description. You will get up to a $35,000 bonus if you use that link down below in the description. That is crazy, I know, but it's all made possible by this incredible platform, which is US regulated, which is very important if you've seen what happened to FTX. They also offer seriously low fees, which is why I like using them, because I know when the bull market picks up, we'll be trading more regularly and the fees can eat into your profits. So it's essential you get it set up properly with a decent exchange. That's linked down below along with my Telegram. If you're new to the channel, you want to find out more about Polygon and other cryptos that I'm buying right now, well, make sure you hit subscribe and I will see you in the very next video. Bye-bye.